All right, listeners, buckle up. It's time for a deep dive into Guild Chronicles. We're going deep into the early adventures, like levels 1 through 3. Watching these heroes level up, going from newbies to, slightly less newbie adventures. It's going to be a two-parter, this episode focusing on levels 1 through 3, and then next time we'll finish up with level 4.
Yeah. And it's more than just watching them rack up those experience points. It's seeing them grow, the bonds they form, and uncovering some seriously cool mysteries around the guild itself.
Oh, for sure. There are so many questions that pop up, and even before we hit episode 1, we get 2 new characters joining the group, and their backstories they really add something special,
Absolutely. Dalal, who likes to go by Abu Tib, he makes you think about what society expects from us. He's from this tribe where you have to prove yourself right. Got to retrieve a specific animal from this sacred tree they call the Great Tree. But Dalal, he doesn't pass the test. Brings shame to his family. He ends up leaving, feeling like an outsider. And then he's rescued by John, his mother, Gosoin, who points him towards the city affairs.
It's like, does this experience push him to join the guild?
Right. Is he searching for redemption, a new family maybe? Something to think about as we move forward.
For sure. You wonder if he'll find that sense of belonging he's looking for with this group.
Yeah.
And then there's Naftaway. Oh, man. Naftaway is just something else.
A half machine, half rabbit. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Jana, the tinker, he finds Naftaway while scavenging on a beach in Cordoba. He was looking for a project, something unique to wow those university admissions people.
Ah, so that's how he gets into the university.
Exactly. Restoring Naftaway gets him accepted, and he gains this amazing adventuring partner. But it makes you think, about their bond and all the questions about artificial life.
Like, does Naftaway have free will?
Exactly. What does it even mean to create a being like that?
Heavy stuff. Okay, so let's jump into the game. Episode 1, Joining the Guild. We start with our heroes all gathered under this mysterious tree. Jana suggests they check out the Adventurers Guild, and they head off to Fes. And the way they describe it, oh man, it's like you can practically smell the spices in the market.
I know, right?
Lush farmlands, imposing city walls, neighborhoods for every social class. The world building is fantastic.
And speaking of world building, they introduced this whole guild system in Fes.
Oh yeah, you've got your elite guild for the powerful and prestigious.
Right, the Mages Guild for those with, a knack for magic.
The Merchants Guild for the clever traders, the Travelers Circle for those with a bit of wanderlust.
Oh, and don't forget the Bounty Hunters. Always a classic.
True, always a classic. And then there's the House of the Humble, helping those in need. It makes you wonder about the role each guild plays, their dynamics, their purpose in this society. I gotta ask, if you were in this world, which guild would you be drawn to?
Oh, that's a tough one. So much to choose from. I think maybe the Traveler Circle for me.
Yeah.
Always had a bit of that wanderlust myself. But you know what really grabbed my attention? The Adventurers Guild. Closed for 15 years. Shrouded in mystery, rumors swirling around. There's a story there, just waiting to be told.
And we start to get into that story in episode 2, Working on the Guild. Our heroes meet Fatun, a demoness who runs the guild now. They decide to help her rebuild.
Yeah, it's no small feat, right? Rebuilding a guild that's been abandoned for 15 years.
It takes them 3 months just to secure the road leading to the guild.
Barricades, traps, they had to make sure it was safe to even approach.
Working with limited resources, facing setbacks all the time. But man, their determination is inspiring.
Totally. And along the way, they have these awesome encounters that really test them. First, they meet the Master of Harvest. The locals call him Sayed Al-Fisad. This scarecrow-like creature was cursed, forced to protect the harvest. But our heroes, they free him. It's that classic redemption arc.
They really do step up to help those in need.
Absolutely. And then we've got Ramsey the Evil Cook. He's got this connection to Fatun from her demoness days.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Turns out he trapped her brother's soul in a painting. A magical painting, of course.
Okay, now that's just messed up.
So they have this showdown. Fatun goes into the painting to confront Ramsey and free her brother. Magic. Wits. It's intense.
Yeah.
And in that moment, we see Fatun's not just a villain. There's depth to her, a past she's carrying.
It makes you wonder what role she'll play in the grand scheme of things.
Right. And you know what else is interesting?
What's that?
Their annual salary for rebuilding this guild, 8 gold coins. Each.
Seriously?
I know, right? What are they even doing this for?
Yeah.
Glory. Friendship.
Maybe those visions Giahib shared with them hold some clues. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
First one, we see a younger Reith and Giahib battling Fatun back when the guild was in its prime. Gabe and Reith, they have this connection, but there's this feeling like something bad is going to happen, and then bam, the scene changes. Fatun is defeated, the guild's thriving, but Kiahib's gone, and Reith is devastated.
It's such a shift, right? From
Yeah.
all this vibrancy to this deep sense of loss. And then, boom, we see Reith making a deal with Fatun. He looks broken, like he's sacrificing something precious. But what? Why?
The mystery just keeps deepening. We see glimpses of Reith's happy memories with Giahi, but she's like a ghost, distant and cold. And then things get even weirder. We see Reith laughing, and Fatun's pointing at a contract, all angry, telling him to read it well. What's in that contract? What did Reith agree to?
I know, right? It's like every answer leads to more questions. And then we get this epic battle. Hellfire versus Radiant forces right in the guild. It's pure chaos. And in the end, Fatun's defeated and everyone abandons the guild. How did it all fall apart? It's like these visions hold the key to understanding the guild's past and maybe even what's in store for our heroes.
They're like puzzle pieces. We're trying to figure out how they fit together.
Okay, you ready for episode 3? Exploring the storage room? Close your eyes and imagine. You're in the dusty attic of this ancient guild building. You can smell the old wood, feel the forgotten magic in the air, and you stumble across a wardrobe, but it's giving off this strange, cold, magical air.
It's like it's beckoning them, right?
Of course, they have to open it. But instead of clothes or old trinkets, they find a portal to this incredible magical storage space. Shelves overflowing with armor, weapons, jewels, scrolls. It's like a museum of the guild's past glory.
Talk about hitting the jackpot. I can only imagine what it must have been like to step into that room.
And right in the middle of all this treasure, they encounter Qars the Treasurer.
Now, for those who aren't familiar, a Drider is a creature with the upper body of an elf and the lower body of a spider. Not exactly a cuddly companion.
Definitely not someone you want to bump into in a dark alley. Especially when you consider Qars' backstory. He was this powerful guardian, wielding this moonlight lantern with a captive pixie inside. After a legendary battle with Reith, he was forced to become the guild's treasurer.
From legendary warrior to accountant. Talk about a career change.
Right. But here's the tragic part. During a massive battle between Fatun and some radiant being, Qars gets corrupted by dark forces, transforms into this monstrous version of himself. And the storage room, once orderly, becomes his web-infested lair.
Oh, that's why it was all creepy and dusty.
Exactly. It's that classic battle of light versus darkness, and Qars is caught right in the middle. And of course, our heroes, they have to face him. The tension is thick.
I bet. What was the fight like?
Intense. Qars is no pushover. He's got strength, dark magic. They really have to push themselves to their limits.
But they win, right?
They do, but not just by brute force. They realize the key is to break the curse on Qars.
Yeah.
It shows their compassion,
Yeah.
that sometimes the greatest victory is helping someone overcome their inner demons.
Very true. So what happens to Qars after the curse is lifted?
He's restored to his true form, of course, and guess what? He goes back to being the guild's treasurer. Redemption arc complete.
Oh, that's great.
It really is. Oh, and I almost forgot the funny part. Remember Aias? He's terrified of spiders.
Yeah, how could I forget?
Well, Qars, to show his gratitude, he gives Aias this enchanted earring. And this earring, it transforms all spiders into harmless ducks. Only for Aias, though.
Seriously.
Seriously, it's such a fun detail. It shows Qars' newfound peace, his generosity.
It's those little touches that make the story so rich.
Right. So, with Qars back to his old self and the storage room all tidy, our heroes have really left their mark on the guild. They've faced dangers, grown as individuals, and come together as a team.
But it's only the beginning, right? Their journey is far from over. We're going to jump into level 4 next time. It's the culmination of their early adventures. All those questions we have, maybe we'll get some answers.
Maybe. Or maybe even more questions.
Hey.
But, hey, that's part of the fun. We'll be back next time to finish up this 2-part deep dive into levels 1 through 4. Until then, keep those imaginations going. Welcome back, adventurers. Hard to believe we're at the end of our deep dive into the Guild Chronicles, at least this first chapter of it. It feels like we just started exploring fees and all the secrets of the Adventurers Guild.
I know, right? Time flies when you're unraveling mysteries and battling evil cooks.
Seriously. And, it's amazing how much our heroes have accomplished in just 3 levels. They've secured the guild, found some incredible allies like Said al-Hassad and Qars, and even stumbled upon a treasure trove of magical goodies.
Yeah, they've really come a long way. But let's be real, it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows. There have been some pretty intense challenges along the way.
Oh, absolutely. They've faced down some serious danger, from those tricky traps on the road to the guild to facing off against, well, Ramsay the evil cook.
Oh, yeah, Ramsey, he was a piece of work. But it's those challenges that show us what these heroes are made of. We see their individual strengths, but also the power of their bond as a group.
Totally.
Mhm.
Think about Dalal, still seeking redemption for his past, and Naftaya coming to terms with what it means to be a half machine, half rabbit. They both bring something unique to the table.
They do. It makes them such a dynamic team, and they're going to need every ounce of that strength and smarts as they head into level 4. We've got so many questions still hanging in the air, like what happened to Giahib? Will Reith ever find peace after making that deal with Fatun? What's hidden in that contract, and what will Fatun's role be in all of this, good or bad?
I know, right? So many mysteries. Those visions that Geahiv showed them were so cryptic. It's like we're peering through a fog, trying to make sense of it all.
Exactly. We know there's danger ahead. We can feel the stakes rising. But the path forward, it's still unclear.
Which, of course, makes it all the more exciting. Level 4 is going to be a turning point. All these threads we've been following, they're going to start to intertwine.
It's going to be an emotional roller coaster. I can feel it.
No doubt about it. But, sadly, we've got to step away from these early levels for now. This 3-part deep dive was a special treat for our listeners.
Right, a way to catch everyone up on all the amazing stuff that's happened so far.
But now it's time to switch gears. We're going back to our regular format, breaking down each new episode as it comes out. So if you're loving this journey with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
We don't want you to miss a single moment of the action, the intrigue, the humor, all of it.
We'll be back soon with a deep dive into Level 4, the grand finale of our recap series. And then we'll be right there with you, week after week, as we explore all the new chapters of this epic tale. Until then, keep those imaginations firing, and may your own adventures be filled with as much excitement and camaraderie as the ones we find in the Guild Chronicles. Thanks for joining us.